Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, my name's David, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can turn your trash and make some extra cash for the holidays. So let's get started. In today's collaboration, I actually host this challenge, which is called Trash to Cash, and I do this every 4 months. I decided this time to make it open to all creators on YouTube, so I shared it on my Instagram and got a couple people around to join in on the collaboration that you're going to be watching today. So I'm super excited to be pairing with these other YouTubers. Make sure you check out their videos. I will be linking a playlist down below, and everybody's video will be in that playlist. That way you can kind of see what trash they turned into cash. Let's get started with today's video. Do you have loads of newspapers laying around the house and you don't know what to do with them? Well, let's cut them to shreds. If you have a shredder, it works so much faster than what I'm doing. Let's cut them up, throw them into a dish of some sort, and then soak it with water. Let this sit for 4 hours or let it sit overnight. Once it's soaked, you're going to throw this into a blender and blend it up. We are going to be making our own clay from this paper, and you can use it for making ornaments or whatever you want to sculpt out. After you've blended everything until it's smooth, you're just going to take this pulp out of the blender into a bowl of some sort, and as you can see, I did accidentally put my wooden fork in there, and I turned the blender on. Then you're just going to take that pulp and squeeze it into another jar. Just get that water out of it. In another dish, we're going to put some glue. This is just Elmer's school glue. That's all we need. Nothing crazy or special. Just put some in there. We're also going to need some cornstarch. You could probably use flour as well. So I'm just going to pour in cornstarch. I'm trying to double up on the cornstarch versus glue. So probably like 1/4 part glue and then like double that to this recipe. Honestly, don't know the recipe, so just do what I'm doing and it'll work out just fine. You're also going to need some oil. Just a tablespoon is good. I just poured a little bit in here, and we're also going to need a tablespoon of white vinegar. Once all these ingredients are mixed together, go ahead and start adding your paper pulp and start to mix this up. You're going to need a lot of the pulp. I would say about half of what's already mixed together. You want half of the pulp. So like 1 part of that glue mixture, 1 part of the paper pulp. Then once you have that mixed together, you can start using your hands to massage everything, and it will start to clump together and create our own DIY clay. Now, if you don't plan on using this right away, you can store it in an airtight Ziploc bag. But I wanted to use it and make some really fun ornaments. I have been loving the mushrooms lately for the ornaments. I think they're fun because they're a natural thing that you can just bring from outside inside. I just took a little bit of the clay and I started to shape out the mushroom, kind of just based on experience from eating them. I know what they look like. I mean, who doesn't know what a mushroom looks like? But you can shape them however you want. You don't have to make mushrooms. You can make whatever you want with this clay. And then I just used some of these eye screws and I poked it in there so that way I could have a little area to hang this from, like a twine or ribbon or whatever to hang it on the tree. After I shaped out a few mushrooms, I moved on and I wanted to make some stars. I actually did 5 stars total in different sizes because I'm going to be making a whole different project with those. I'm not going to make ornaments with these stars. Here's all my mushrooms, all sitting upside down to dry, and the stars that I was just talking about. So currently I have a little fan that's pointing at the clay pieces because they are taking forever to dry. I do want to point that out, that this takes several days to dry. I was not really too sure about that, but that's fine. Now it's time to move on and paint these cute little mushrooms. I'm so excited to do that. Originally, I wanted to paint them more of a natural looking color, but I ended up going in with like a base color here. As you can see, it looks a bit more on the peachy, pinkish side, which I was not loving. So I ended up switching over to a more of a metallic finish. And I love these paints. I got them from Hobby Lobby. So pretty. I think they look a bit more expensive in like the mushrooms made of metal or something. So instead of using twine, I actually found some scrap fabric. Again, this could be trash. I just cut the fabric into pieces and I ripped it into thinner pieces to make my own string or ribbon or whatever you want to call this from fabric. And then that's what I use to hang the mushrooms onto the tree. Alright, let's get back to the other craft I was going to do with the paper stars. So now I'm going to paint these in a green color. I'm going to set those to the side to dry, and then I'm going to take some cardboard and cut them into long strips. I need 3 long strips. I'm also going to be using some packing paper that came in a package from Amazon. So I'm just going to glue those strips together with hot glue. Basically what we're making here is a little stance for the stars to sit on and create like a little tree from the stars. It'll make more sense when you see the finished product. So I'm just covering the cardboard because I want it to look a little bit more of a nicer finish. I don't want it to look like cardboard. So that's why I'm using the packing paper to just glue around the cardboard. And then I'm just going to glue the stars in an order of like the smallest one at the top, and then it will go down to the largest one at the bottom. And you will see here, it actually creates a little tree. I just went ahead and made a little stance for it with cardboard and the paper, glued it in there, and this is the result. Now, I will say this looks a little bit DIY-y, so I did not sell this piece, but you could totally make these and gift them, or just make it for your own home decor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you guys are really into the Christmas decor, you will know that vintage bells are really in style right now. I see them all over Instagram. They're all over Amazon, all over everywhere on the internet. So I came up with this idea of just using a pop can, and actually you can use any can. It doesn't have to be pop. Maybe a Monster drink, anything aluminum. Even little cat food cans would work as well, as long as you can cut them up pretty easily with scissors. These are my kitchen scissors. They're pretty strong. So I just cut the can into pieces. As you can see here, I cut the top off and then the bottom off. I cut the actual can in half as well. Now I am just cutting the bottom piece. I want this rounded part that's on the bottom. I tried to round off with a screwdriver just so it wasn't so sharp on the edges. Then I just took the actual pop can, I folded it down so it would fit that little bottom piece. And I saved that scrap piece to make another bell, so don't throw that out. And then I just took the top piece and I cut that down, and I used little sections within this piece right here so that I could make the top of the bell, like where to hang it. Now, I'm going to be showing you with the scrap piece right now how we're going to make a small little cone-shaped bell. Super easy. You just need a little piece of this. This is probably about 3 inches by 4 inches long. I just rounded it out like this. I shaped it in a cone shape, and then I cut off the excess that I wasn't going to be using. Once I got the shape I wanted, I hot glued this together. And there we have it, a little cone shape out of aluminum. Now let's move on and make the other vintage looking bell. This one's probably my favorite. Put some hot glue on the edge here, fold it over, and I like to make sure that the can is inside out, so when you go to spray paint it and everything, you don't see anything popping through in case you miss some spots with the spray paint. Hot glue the bottom of that can on, and now that's the top of our bell. Hot glue all around the edges. That's going to make it look like this was soldered together. Our vintage bell is complete. You could leave it here, but we're going to spray paint them. I want to move on to the cone-shaped one and how I'm going to put this together. I used 2 of these eye screws, a larger one and a small one, as well as a mouse trap. Now, my mouse trap is not used, but this is just to show you, like, you could use one that you might throw away. I know that sounds gross, but just take out the dead mouse, clean it in soap and water, and then you can reuse the parts. Why be wasteful? So I don't know if you caught that, but I actually just hooked the little middle piece from the mousetrap onto a smaller eye screw, and then I just put that in the inside of the bell, and then used a larger eye screw for the top. I glued those together right there at the tip of the bell at the top. And with a little bit of YouTube magic, I painted these with some brass spray paint, and then I just took some matte black spray paint and I spritzed it on to create this antiqued look. I'm loving how they look. So the cone-shaped one is finished. Now let's move on to the larger one. I just reused part of this mousetrap right here. Just took some scissors and some pliers, and I pried this apart. Pretty easy because this wood is pretty thin. Just broke right off. So I could use this little section for the little dangly part inside the bell. And then this part, I just took this off with the pliers and I wanted to reuse it as well. I used another eye screw and I just put this in here. I just glued it, easiest way. So now I have the dangly piece done. I wanted to attach it into the inside of the bell. So I just took this leftover piece of the aluminum can, I screwed the eye screw into it like this, and then I had a little surface area I could hot glue this down inside the bell. But first, before gluing it, I wanted to stain this piece to make it look a bit more old and rustic. After it was glued in there, I didn't like that it wasn't hanging out a little bit. So I actually wanted the little middle piece to hang out just a little bit, so I went ahead and just glued another piece of wood on the end of this. The paper towels are in there to support the piece that's hanging in the middle. Once it was dry, I was able to just remove the paper towel. And this wooden piece is from the tumbling towers from Dollar Tree. I just had so many left over. Oh, there you have it. This piece of rope was actually on a cluster of corn stalks that I had gotten from the farm during Thanksgiving time when I decorated my porch. So I went ahead and threw all those pieces out. Like, I saved the corn husk and the actual corn and this rope that it came with, and I figured I'll just go ahead and use it instead of throwing it away. This is not like your regular rope. And there we are. Could hang this in a wreath, as an ornament, on the door, in a garland, whatever. I'm loving this little cute one. I also wanted to show you guys these little bells that I made. I made these from cat food cans. So I just got this cat food can and I cut this strip right out all the way around. So that's what these three are. So I actually made 3 bells from one can. Then I had used pieces of this part, you know, like the edges and stuff, to create these little loops that are at the top. And then this part right here is actually a bottle cap. So this is just another way to make some little bells. These are pretty little, but they're cute. You could put some string on here and put this around some keychains or something for the holidays, or kind of string them and group them together as a little cluster ornament situation. These little pieces are also from that mouse trap. Now I didn't show all this on the camera because I wanted to get through this project, but this is just another alternative to make some little bells. Again, you don't have to use pop cans. You can use whatever kind of tin material that you can get your hands on. So there's those. So I just tied them together on some of that fabric. Just cut some fabric, tied it on there, and now we have a little cluster of these little bells. How cute are these? Maybe you have some old socks or maybe some pantyhose that have holes in them and you want to throw them away. So just take those. I actually just picked these up for $1, but let's just imagine there's holes in them for this project. Okay, so pantyhose or socks, whatever you have. Maybe there's a hole or something, like you want to throw it away. So we're just going to take it, cut it. Okay, the next thing we'll need is a tray of some sort and then some cement. Just pour in your cement. Then I'm just going to take this to crush that out up. And we'll go ahead and start pouring in some water. Mix this around. I'm just kind of lightly mixing it because if you overdo it, it'll start to harden. This stuff will dry really fast. So we want it like the consistency of like a milkshake. This is mortar from the hardware store. It was like $10 or $15 for a huge bag of mortar. I like this because it has a little bit of sand in there, which kind of makes the mixture a bit more smooth. Okay, so now we're ready to just go ahead and pour the concrete in the pantyhose. Just take a cup and stretch it over like this. Then start to spoon the mixture in the pantyhose. Now once it's filled, we'll just take the pantyhose and take this out. I will actually rinse this out immediately just so I don't ruin my glass. So here's our piece. Go ahead and tie it. And then we're just gonna take some rubber bands, and the rubber bands will just go around the cement bag. As you can see, what we're making is a little snowman. So the rubber bands, they kept slipping on this, and I'm not sure why, what was going on, but they wouldn't stay in place. So I ended up just hanging this up so I could let it dry. So I went ahead and just hung the cement piece from this right here just so that it could have somewhere to dry. I tried to set it upright, but it just would not sit. So as you can see, it does not really look like a snowman, but that's okay. I think I can turn this into maybe like a Santa or a gnome or something like that. So let's get it inside and see what I can do with it. So since this is not going to be sitting upright, as you can see the bottom's all round, I might have to actually make this into a hanging piece and just kind of go with it. I managed to actually push it down because it was still a little damp when it was hanging out on the porch. And I'm hoping that I can sit upright like this. So we'll see what I can do with this. So it's still gonna dry. Here is my cement piece. I got it to dry flat on the bottom. It's still kind of wet, but that's okay. So I'm not sure how I want to paint this exactly, but this long part does look like a hat of some sort. And then this could be like the body, and this could be the face. Or this could be the face with this as the hat. I don't really know. I'm thinking I want to use this as the body. I'm thinking I just want to draw a face right here with a Sharpie. Point, I just want to paint it because I don't like this face. So I went ahead and just used those metallic paints again, and I kind of wanted to make this look like a vintage piece. As you can see, I'm just making a little person, so I do think it looks kind of more like a modern day vintage piece. I don't know. What do you guys think? Here are the results, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And there you have it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it inspired you to save some of your stuff and upcycle it into something fun. And even if you don't end up selling it, these are just ideas that you can upcycle some stuff and use it for making your own home decor this year or maybe next year, whatever. If you like this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below letting me know which one was your favorite, and don't forget to check out that playlist. Again, everything is linked down below in the description box, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!